This morning, growing anxiety across America as the government shutdown stretches into its fourth week. Officials warning 42 million Americans could lose their food stamp benefits in 2 weeks, with SNAP on track to run out of funding. Food banks across the country preparing for a surge in demand. The president ramping up pressure on Democrats, already freezing billions of dollars in infrastructure projects in blue states and threatening to slash programs.
We're cutting Democrat programs that we didn't want, giveaways, welfare programs, etc. And we're doing that, and we're cutting them permanently.
More than 750,000 federal workers furloughed, more than 4,000 fired. But the White House says some, including military troops, FBI agents, and DHS officers, will get paid.
We got the people that we want paid, okay? And we want the FBI paid, we want the military paid.
But thousands of other federal workers, like Air Traffic Controller Mike Christine, who's also a union representative, are going without pay.
You're talking about it while you're at work with your coworkers and just figuring out, where can I find a zero interest loan, or am I going to have to get a side gig?
At what point does this actually impact safety in the skies?
Every day it goes on, a distraction turns into a hazard. You throw the headset on, you're supposed to forget everything that happened at home. But when you're starting to think about, I can't even pay the mortgage, like, what are we going to tell? It's very, very frustrating.
But on Capitol Hill, a stalemate. Democrats holding firm on their demand to extend expiring Obamacare subsidies.
Part of the problem is that House Republicans are nowhere to be found. Literally have been on vacation for 3 consecutive weeks.
So you heard what the House Minority Leader said there, and the House is again out all next week as talks in the Senate are at a standstill. So Republicans are saying they will not negotiate on health care when the government is shut down. But what that means is that thousands of federal workers are wondering when they'll get their next paycheck, yet members of Congress, guys, are still getting paid. Janae?
They certainly are still getting paid. Selina Wang, thank you so much. Now let's bring in Chief Washington Correspondent Jonathan Karl, who will be hosting This Week later this morning to talk about all of this. John, thanks for being with us. Talk to us about this government shutdown. Is there any ending in sight as we are leading up to day 20?
I mean, honestly, Janae, no. I don't see any sign of even serious negotiations going underway. The Republicans seem to have calculated that the Democrats are feeling the pain from this and that they'll pay the political price because they voted against the temporary funding bill. The Democrats are getting a lot of positive reinforcement from rank-and-file Democrats across the country who are looking for the party leaders to show a fight against Donald Trump. So I don't see any real signs of this. And here's the thing. And I'll be talking to, of course, the Speaker of the House exclusively this morning, and also Hakeem Jeffries, the Democratic leader. The House is not in session. The House is closed for business. There are no hearings. There are no votes. Nothing is happening in the House. So I'll talk to both of them about that. There's not even, talk about no movement at all. They're literally not in session.
That's what's so striking, because they are still getting paid as other federal workers have to go to work and are not getting paid. John, let's also turn to the war in Ukraine. President Zelensky, he walked away from his meeting with President Trump empty-handed. Trump calling for both sides to lay down arms immediately. Talk to us about the fallout.
Yeah, so we saw part of this on, play out in front of the television cameras as they sat down for lunch, Zelensky, Trump, and their various teams. There was a pretty well-meaning affair compared to what happened in February when you had that blow-up in the Oval Office. But I'm told that the second meeting, which was without television cameras, that took place in the Oval Office, really was quite tense, not quite what we saw in February. But Zelensky came here with one major goal, and that is to get more advanced weapons from the United States, including those Tomahawk missiles, so he could bring the fight to the Russians on Russian territory to try to, to try to have some more progress against the Russians. And he came away with absolutely nothing. Of course, President Trump says he's going to meet with Vladimir Putin in Hungary. He said perhaps sometime in 2 weeks. We'll see how that goes. But Zelensky's not going to be at that meeting. So once again, Zelensky seems to be facing this without significant American support and not getting the support that he really said he needed and thought he had a good chance of getting in this meeting with Trump.
Yeah, as the fighting continues. John Karl, we appreciate you being with us. And make sure to tune in to This Week Later. John, as he mentioned, has exclusive interviews with House Speaker Mike Johnson and Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.